Indu, such a pleasure to have you. You have been on the entrepreneur cycle multiple times. I've seen you grow tremendously in the last decade as an entrepreneur, as a woman leader. But your current focus, where you are not only innovating but also making a huge impact on society, is through healthcare innovation in ALS. And that is your, I would like to call it startup, even though, as you said, it's structured as a not-for-profit. But it's hugely empowering and inspiring. Why this problem and what you saw and how you are kind of get into this?
Sure. Well, thanks for having me. So, the way I came about this is because I lost my husband to the disease. And we've built a lot of tech, and so is my husband. And we've changed a lot of verticals, right? I mean, I was in the forefront when manufacturing was changing with the outsourced manufacturing. And, NVIDIA was my early customer because they were the first fabless semiconductor company. And we gave them the platform to become that. And Cisco, AMD, NVIDIA, Juniper, right? I was pretty excited that we were able to change. And my husband he built Amazon Cloud. He was one of the founders of Amazon Cloud and Mechanical Turk. And, we've changed a lot of things. And when we got handed this very sad journey of him having neurological disease, which we did not know at that time, it took us 2.5 years to know what it is. And then after we got to know what it is, it was still a very tough journey. And he unfortunately passed away in 2019. I felt like I was handed this first row seat to the problem. And with vertical that I would not have known that this problem exists if I didn't go through this. So the entrepreneur in me said, I need to fix it because I've had a first row seat into this. And healthcare is just so fragmented and nobody knows the full picture because it's like everybody's got a puzzle piece. And so I started Everything ALS, which is Peter Cohen Foundation after his name, to really bring tech innovation to bear here. Because with technology was going to be the unifier. Technology is going to be the unifier because we're going to collect a lot of data that can be bringing in this disparate silos of organizations who will actually come into this technology and look at the data to interpret what is going on and how do we solve it. So that's how we're productizing the offering.
So healthcare is not easy. It's very regulatory. It's, to a lot of startups, very cumbersome. How do you see that? Because you have done technology before. This is a very different arena. I'm trying to learn from you. How do you navigate through this?
Yeah, very good question. So before I started the organization, I actually did a lot of interviews, market research interviews. And I have a story. I lost my husband to ALS, and I want to know. No doors is closed. All the door, including the FDA, is open. And I challenged them. I said, all of you guys have blood in your hands. My husband died because people don't have an act together. This problem is not solvable. It's absolutely solvable. How can it be in 70 years? The prognosis is exactly the same. 2 to 5 years from the time you get your symptoms. That's a shame. In every industry, 70 years is a long time. We've evolved a lot in every industry. How can that be? It's impossible that we can't evolve. It's because of how siloed we are. And so it opened doors for me to have this tough question. And I asked people this question: why haven't we evolved? Tell me, why haven't we solved this? Shame on us. Because this is a tough disease. And I've got 6,000 ALS families I work with today. I'm a B2C where I've been able to bring in a lot of people and hear their stories. And so built a community. And also I'm a principal investigator where we're also a B2B, where we work with not only the institutions, about 13 different pharma companies, and that's how the regulatory body comes in. So yes, I've been handed this, but I have a story to knock down the walls. I have people to help me. That's the patient community to knock down the walls. So that's the power I thought that I need to build. So yes, it's hard to navigate, but you kind of have to, I feel like all the experiences I've ever had about change management is what I use right now. Understand where the frictions are, how do you navigate it. This is not about bringing in a startup and trying to say, okay, let's go apply. You really need to navigate it. Yes, that's one of the biggest things that we needed to do was understand the friction points and partner with people to remove those frictions for them. And my whole goal is to say, look, you can take all the credit you want. I don't care. Let's solve this. And let's make this a win-win. And I think it's a little different than the startups I've done before. The startups I've done before was about, it's kind of more for me. It was kind of my own journey. It's about, can I be a CEO? Can I actually run a company? Can I get VC funded thing? Can I actually have an exit? A lot was about me. Now it's not about me. It's about solving the disease. I really don't care who takes the credit. I really want to solve the disease. So I think going in with it's a different mindset. And that's how I navigate it.
3 words come to mind: hope, passion, and the opportunity. Hope that there's going to be a cure. Passion because you want to go and definitely get that problem solved. Opportunity because everybody's coming together, and opportunity not only for you but for the people who are going through this pain. How do you see all these things coming together? And I'm sure you see a light at the end of the tunnel, although it's still very early for you.
Absolutely, I see the light at the end of the tunnel because, again, when I say that, in 70 years, if things have not moved, that's an opportunity. How can it not have moved? There's no technology innovation. I mean, when a physician or in the clinical trials, when they ask you, how is your speech 0 to 4? 0 means you can't speak and 4 means you can speak very well. Do you really know how to rate 3, 2, and 1? It's crazy. We're in caveman's world. Why can't I put a sensor? Why can't I get longitudinal data of your speech and I can write an algorithm to figure out where you are and how it's your degrading? How is your walk from 0 to 4? Why don't I put a sensor and figure out objectively? So today we don't even have a biomarker and we have no predictive algorithms. So that was our low-hanging fruit, is to bring in technology to objectively measure these signals. And not that these papers have not been written. There is a lot of research that's been done, but nobody's productized it. It's been really in the research lab. So we took it and we collected a lot of the data with thousands of patients. And we've got the largest database right now of what we call digital biomarkers. It's called digital because, biomarkers means figure out, what are changing, but it's not biology, it's digital. We have the largest database in less than 2 years. So we built that, which would have taken in the academic world or in 10 years, we can actually break down the silos. This is how HIV was solved. Look at COVID. I mean, if you had asked me before COVID, hey, how long it takes to get a vaccine, if I had said 1 year, you would have laughed at me, right? It's possible. We have a lot of processes that we need to get rid of. And that's what we do. In a nonprofit, I have a lot more leeway to do things. I can bring in thousands of patients and have them all talk to each other, which an institution, my physician can never do that. They can't even introduce you to another patient, right? So that's how we work with each other. We remove the friction that they have, but we work together. I work with the Harvard neurologist, I work with the MIT professor, I work with the IBM, and I work with Biogen, Eli Lilly, Bristol Myers, Johnson & Johnson. I mean, you name it, like 13 pharma companies, all the execs from there. So we work together. It's not one company can solve this, but really we've created a value alignment so everybody can actually work in an open innovation platform.
You know, you lost a very dear, I would say the dearest partner of your life. It's a great, great tragedy, you know. But what is really commendable is to convert that tragedy into finding solutions for the rest of the people who are going to suffer through this. So I can only applaud and thank you for doing what you're doing. I really appreciate that. And thank you for coming and sharing your thoughts.
Thank you. I appreciate it.